why did you pick plant-based meat? Or first, when did you start Lottofood?
2 years now.
Why you didn't do plant-based milk or protein or something else?
How many brands selling coffee at the moment? It's a lot. Okay. How many people selling meat at the moment? Okay. And if 10% of meat industry convert into, plant-based industry, I think if you look to what we have at the moment, it's too few.
What trends have you been observing?
Put it this way, the good news is I think most of potential customer, they now know what is plant-based.
I agree.
That is a good news.
That's a first big step, right?
Yeah, that's good news. Yeah. So I think I'm enjoy and delighted to see this. I don't need to explain what is my products.
Right. So people that are looking for a plant-based katsu, difficult to find it.
I just want to communicate to people who have no idea about plant-based katsu, but walk through the fridge and they see attachment of this product and say, oh, it's pouch, I want to try this.
Welcome back to the Plant-Based Podcast Asia, the place to inspire, educate, and connect. I'm your host, Nick, and today I'm very pleased to sit here with Kwang, full name Mr. Sitthirat Watcharaporn. He's the founder and CEO of Lottofood. Welcome.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate your invitation as well. Thanks.
Great to have you here. You came all the way from Bangkok, not just for us, but glad you could make some time.
But you're a big part of it. I'm looking forward to participate in your podcast. It's something that I'm been looking for, thinking of this kind of activity. So I'm be delighted to be invited for this event.
Amazing, thank you. I mean, you have more than 30 years of experience as an executive, growing business, turnaround, and all of that. And now one of your latest venture is Lottofood, which is a plant-based meat startup. Can we call it a startup?
I think so. It's a startup, yeah.
It's a startup company
doing
different kinds of katsu and let's plant meat.
Right.
Now, how did that come all along? Before, off camera, you told me you were like a head of American Standard, right? And now moving into the food space.
It's quite a long story. I'll make a long story short. As you mentioned, I have 30 years of experience. Big part of it, I used to do part of human food and pet food. I used to be trained in chocolate business, M&M things, and pedigree. I'm startup pedigree as well. So I do food for almost 10 years. And then I do food retailer as well. I set up the frozen distribution, ambient distribution of Tesco. So that's over 10, 15 years really make me get to know more of food business. But before that, I do chemical. So I'm manufacturing polymer. And over variety of industry, and as you mentioned, American Standard, before this 12 year, I've been doing building material. So it's different industry and different role and function. And that's kind of give me the full interest in, where I'm working at the moment. I think it's lead to this. I think the big word that strike me before I'm do plant-based is how to make the future more brighter. Yeah, because as I keep telling, I used to do chemical, I used to do building material, and I see a lot of trend from consumer, from retailer, and I think those kind of things formulate my thinking. Say the future needs something else, not what I'm been doing or what I'm doing. So, and that's lead me to think about, whether it's food, whether building material, whether the house, all, that essential to people like us. Mm-hmm. And food is one of the big tick item. So, and I see the trend of green tea. I see the trend of, I'm the generation where people drink, typical Thai coffee. Now they change to do, more and more Amazon and, Starbucks and that sort of things. And we drink coffee like, we never did before.
All right.
So what I believe in the past may be not really the right future or not really the coming future. So I'm start to formulate my thinking on something new and better for living basically. And that's why I'm start very interested in plant-based. And the more I study with plant-based, really give me kind of a surprise, a lot more surprise from plant-based. We still at the, I shouldn't say the beginning stage, but we start to understand what work and what not work. And in this session, I'll be able to share with you more on plant-based thing.
Wow. Interesting journey. So, but that was quite an awakening kind of to realize, wow, I want to build a brighter future.
Right.
That's something that I'm also very passionate about. And
Sure.
That's something that we share on this podcast also. Can you go a little bit deeper into that? So you were working with chemicals, building material, and then suddenly there was like this some turning point maybe where you realized, well, you want to build something that is maybe more sustainable.
I'll give you a bigger background. My wife also professor in the food faculty
Okay.
in Sitthirat University.
I see.
So we've been discussing about this. That's one dimension. The second one, while I'm working in building material, we talk a lot about LEED, so environmentally concerned. And because my previous company is from Japan, they do a lot of modular, and even in Europe at the moment, all construction give less dust back to the air. So they want to do something that controllable, reduce emission, that sort of thing. So I see this kind of trend coming out. I'm also, when I'm, I do pet food, I'm foreseeing the disaster from the, a terrible ingredient or raw material that, lead to a lot of disease in those, industry. So this kind of formulation, and when I discuss with my wife, say, what I'm eating today may cause a lot of issue later, and people health. When you get 40, 50 at my age, we start to understand a little bit more that all along we not really take some healthy food. So maybe people like my son age, they're very careful taking or eating this stuff. So all of those dimensions compiling, and it's come to me that okay, maybe we need something properly. We probably have to consume less meat. We probably have to know how to manage with what we eat, whether fat content or I still enjoy eating meat. Okay, but I know that we can't take as much as what we like. We have to start build set our own discipline, and this is I'm talking about personal agenda. Other people still I'm meat eater. I'm no objection with this. Okay, it's your choice, and people will know at certain level what works best for them. Okay, and so that's why I see plant-based thing is kind of give me the clear solution to many dimensions that I'm really concerned. It starts from me and my wife
Right.
that we start concerning about health, start concerning about how to make things sustainably. Okay, so we start to eat some of the plant-based product, and we enjoy eating anyway. So we can see that okay, maybe this is something that people will gradually move toward this trend. This is how I see it. So that's why I and my wife start research more on this and start working on this.
So, why did you pick plant-based meat? Or first, when did you start Lottofood?
I started 2 years, I think 2 years now.
About 2 years ago. So 2 years ago in Thailand, we already had quite a few brands on the market. Why did you choose to start yet another plant-based meat brand? Of course, I'm a fan. It's great. You know, the more
Right.
option is good. But why you didn't do plant-based milk or protein or something else?
I think it's put it this way. I've been thinking about this as well. Whether it's plant-based meat, meal, or milk, is what choice should we go for?
Right.
Okay. But my passionate is on meat. I think meat is the best for everything. Okay. And though we have a lot of people in the playground already at that time, but I foreseeing, like, I'm talking to myself, if how many brands selling coffee at the moment? It's a lot. Okay. How many people selling meat at the moment? Okay. And if 10% of meat industry convert into, plant-based industry, I think if you look to what we have at the moment, it's too few.
True.
Okay.
Right.
So the matter of what I'm thinking, I keep talking to myself. I think the problem is not about how many people in the market, but what can we give the best to the potential consumer?
Right, and that would have been my next question. So then, how do you differentiate yourself from the others?
So again, there is I think if we're talking to all plant-based manufacturing with the texture and flavor, that's people been talking. Okay,
Right.
with the texture and flavor, I think there is quite a number of dimension that we can look at it. Number one is the product. We deliver something close to what people expected or not. Okay, that's come to texture and flavor. Okay, number two, are we offering the product that people who eat plant-based is looking for or not? Okay, so we try to offer a variety of assortment, maybe differently from many people. I think we start with katsu. Now we're doing small pie. Okay, baking pie. We try to capture whether the stuff that the young generation looking for. My son eat Korean dish almost every 2 days. But so I think if we have the meat that fit best to Korean flavor, maybe that's the thing that young generation looking for. So this kind of offering, we have to work with customer and try to find your own signature in a certain meat products.
Right.
So if I do Korean product, if I do Japanese product, that's the first one. Okay, people start getting associate what they like with our brand. Okay, and the second one, I'm differentiate from other people. I'm pick up raw material from Japan. It's a little bit costly, but I'm used flavor from many areas based on my experience. I try to reduce salt level in my products. I'm not gonna compromise the food taste. And that is combination that we have to do a lot of research. We have to do a lot of blind testing, and we have to tolerate with the economy as well, because the product cost compared to raw material cost maybe it's not working the same way.
Right.
So we have to find a way to manage it. And now when we get into retailer, they try to take a certain percent, which is make things even terrible. But that is I hope at some point with the communication with the product, the more people taste it, they start to understand, and they start to associate to the brand with the expectation or the satisfaction that they set as a bar for their own standard. And brand will get moving from time to time.
I see.
Yeah.
So you being Thai and doing this startup company in Thailand, what do you think are the major challenges of being a startup, a plant-based meat startup based here in Thailand?
Right. I think there's two things. In most startup, we not startup with the idea of we have plenty of resource, we can do whatever we like, and we can end up with a lot of negative margin, So financially is always a burden. We lucky that we have TOA group support us in along the way, so make the our dream uh, sustain a little bit than initial startup that you just on their own. So to your question, number one is financially. You have to find the revenue just to fund our dream enough. So the revenue generation is very important. But that's I think that's 101 business. We want to find revenue.
Right.
But again, number two, I think most importantly, we want to, though we have slight off in terms of revenue, we want to understand customer as quick as possible. Okay, we want we have three category that I'm set out as the idea for the product at the moment. Whether number one is the regional dish. We do the stuff that people in this region familiar. Okay.
Which region of Thailand you mean?
No,
or?
regional dish means Southeast Asia. It's like
Okay.
banchan. Everyone know banchan. If I do plant-based banchan, people should maybe that name, but fried chicken,
Right.
plant-based Korean style, and that is region hits. Or katsu with curry. Everyone
Right.
young generation knows, and that's category where I'm looking for. And we set out as a plan to develop those kind of things because we want to attract young generation. We want to make sure that we talk the same language with them. That's category. Number two is on the grab and go. We want to give an answer to the nowadays life. If you go quick, go fast, you eat less in the breakfast, you want some snack before you get your meal, you don't eat dinner, and that's kind of thing. We want a certain product just to help fill up your lifestyle. Okay, that's the second. So the products is separated based on the idea that we want to communicate to the market. But it's lead to the burden or the hurdles that you mentioned. The first is financial. But if you have too many variety and not 100% of those variety make a good sales, so you end up with a lot of inventory that you have to manage. So at the meantime, you have to do marketing. You have to talk. You keep spending. You have you eat up your working cap. So this kind of thing that a challenge. You have to be very clear on the group of customer. You have to be very clear on a certain product. So you try to mitigate risks as much as possible. So I'm spending a lot of time doing research. I spend a lot of time do a test. I'm spending a lot of time pick the channel just to make sure that we eliminate or mitigate those potential failure.
I see.
And that's where we've been working over the last 2 years.
So again, back to Thailand, do you see some opportunities that we have being based here in Thailand that we maybe don't have if we were, let's say, in Malaysia or Vietnam or Korea, that is specific for Thailand?
I think people in our industry fully aware that we have a people who are willing to taste more of the products. I'm go into 6 exhibition now. The event, the festival, people been talking to me that I've been looking for such a product. I eat those booth. We like that booth. We try this. We want to, and as you may experience, they buy big volume. Okay, well, I'm surprised as well because they go to retailer every day. Why don't they buy from the retailer? Okay, so I see that there is a demand. Okay, but somehow there are a disconnected between potential customer and the provider or the retailer or the manufacturer. So I keep talking to myself that there is a demand, but we have to work harder. We have to work smarter to understand customer and keep very close to customer. And we have to keep proposing the new idea to consumer, and they will find a way to the market will develop because I'm can see I'm saying in donkey young people less than 10 come and buy my products because they don't eat veg, but they eat our product and feel like meat, and their parents enjoy it. And this kind of category is happening. Okay, but I'm doubt whether the retailer operate in the way that really support the coming of this group or not. Because if you think about this, 10 years, 15 years ago, green tea, no one think about 20 years ago. I was drink green tea almost every day. In almost every day in 1997 when I was in Japan. I'm surprised about products when people have no idea about green tea and then it's burst right away, and it's really a point where we start to keep understanding the market, understanding the customer, and give the right answer to customer. That's important.
Right, and you've mentioned that communication that is very important between you as a producer, manufacturer of the products to the end consumer. What is needed to ensure a better communication? Of course, big marketing budgets help, but often startups, they don't have that budget. We also have listeners in our show. There may be startup founders, owners. What are your ideas to ensure a smoother, better communication?
I think two big tick items that I would love to see this moving in the market. If think about it, if all the retailer start to have a proper display area for our products. Okay, don't the way we display, you have to admit that the display of our products is improper. I don't want to complain, but there is a lot of room for improvement of display or gain attention. And
like what? I mean,
they put katsu into a certain area without the proper display.
Right. So people that are looking for a plant-based katsu, difficult to find it.
Difficult to find it. And I don't want to just communicate to people who already eat katsu. I just want to communicate to people who have no idea about plant-based katsu, but walk through the fridge and they see attachment of this product and say, oh, it's pouch, I want to try this. And we at that level to communicate with them, we just give us a little bit more space and work with us on this area, because we're not going to be operate saturated as like normal meat product. You have to give us a little bit of handicap.
And did you get some support from some of the retailers, or that's like one of the missing things that you need?
I see that's coming. I've been talking with several buyers from retailer. I think they will start to understand more and more, and some of them will start to work the program with us, and that's something that I in my wish list, and not just my brand, but every brand, because we will have to help from different angle to provide the choice to the consumer, and that's important to me. So I just want retailer just to help me give a little bit more handicap for our category. That'd be great. Okay, why the same as the restaurant as well. If you go to Singapore, many restaurants, I shouldn't say most restaurant, but many restaurants start to have section of plant-based with a very nice photo. you can taste it. I don't want to make myself big, but I got better taste. Talk about that. So what I'm trying to talk to, food manufacturers of HoReCa category, if you open a little bit more mind in this area, we have to invest for the future. And this category and ask us, our people in this category to help working in those sections to help generate potential sales or help building your future customer. I think those areas will help us to open door to get closer to new potential customer. And that is the big ticket item for me.
Right. Has the overall market, plant-based market here in Thailand or maybe also in the APAC region developed as you wished in the last 2 years since you've started? Or do you think like, it's still slow, or what trends have you been observing?
I see that if you look from Thailand, it's slower than what I'm thinking. I'm projected that should have more of development better than this, but it seems that we a little bit slower. But maybe it's take time. But put it this way, the good news is I think most of potential customer they now know what is plant-based.
I agree.
That is a good news.
That's a first big step, right?
Yeah, that's good news. Yeah. So I think I'm enjoy and delighted to see this. I don't need to explain what is my products. Okay, people know. Okay, เนื้อจากพืช plant based. I understand. And I think that's good. Okay, so now it's the second step where not just people who familiar with the products, but we want to expose ourselves more to people who want to try the products. I think this is the big tick item. Okay, like I keep saying many times. Can you remember when was the first time you buy coffee at 100 baht per cup? Okay, and then you keep repeating as a family because at a certain level there is a satisfaction delivered to your moment, to your spending. Okay, and that's where is we have to do good work. We have to improve our quality. We have to be very consistency. We have to be very clear with customer whether our products go with fry, go with boiling, or go with something else. We will have to be very specific. This is something the customer looking for, and this kind of big step that we will be there.
I really like your comparison with the 100 baht cup of coffee because I think it also comes down to what we value, or how we spend our money, because sometimes you can eat some street food and pay 50 baht for a dish, and then you go on the other side of the street and you buy a cup of coffee for 80 baht, right? Which so hopefully people will start to value more and more, to choose more sustainable, healthier options for them. Maybe pay a little bit extra, but also get more from it, right?
Yeah. So think about this. There is a lot potential. We can do the product at the same price point. We can be a little bit more, whether it's 59 baht, 59 baht. We can do 79 baht because the same bakery at gas station that's price point already. But we can offer that a very good plant-based products. And it's fit to a small meal for Thai consumer. Just give us the opportunity to persuade ourselves and help us to give a best offer to customer, and then customer will tell you whether they like the products, they want to try it, they want to spend 30% of their meal convert into plant-based or not. That's their choice.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability. I know you're quite passionate about it, and I would love to hear a little bit about your vision about your country, especially, right? And what do you envision if you look into the future, 5 years, 10 years? What change would you like to see in terms of sustainability?
My future, or I shouldn't say vision, but I'm I'm old enough to see what happened, what good and what not good, and 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 I was in the industry, it's chemical industry that you wouldn't imagine we make polymer, so it's a heavy industry. And I see so many things happen, and I buy commodity products. I buy a wine meal in the past. I know that when disaster happen, how to deal with food safety, and it's coming more and more. I used to be in building material who consume a lot of resources from this world. But to Asian, maybe talk about this world is a little bit too far. But I think to my dream, I think my son generation, they should be able to eat something very healthy. Okay, and we should have more and more people provide higher standard of food safety. And if we go ultimate idea, the second step of that food safety will also save to this world as well. We
Right.
consume less resources to the world. We don't give carbon back to to the world. We do a very healthy process that keen to everything, wastewater treatment, packaging, and that sort of stuff. We can't keep pumping what we've been doing today to the future. So if you're talking about my dream, the first one is second generation have to eat very healthy, so they can be looking for longevity, enjoy life, be able to do whatever they like, not just health concern. Okay, you have to eat healthily, better than my generation. That's important. And the second one, those products and what they do in that generation should be able to give a beautiful sky. Every time I go to Japan, I'm delighted to see that blue sky in Japan. And I know how they really concerned to give the environmental back to the world. I think, Thailand, Southeast Asia should be able to put this as the real agenda to give, Chiang Mai, not just Chiang Mai, but everywhere in Thailand to be just like Chiang Mai and less, all polluted condition. And that would be happy. And that's, I believe the third step. You have to believe first that you can make it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And it will happen if you do things right and you start to do it. And this three step is very important as a whether you are in whatever position in society. I don't ask you to eat veg every day, 7 days a week. Okay, I ask you to understand a little bit more. I'm asked you to start to looking for something and help us to change this, society, your own responsibility, your own area to deliver these three ideas.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's really about the vision, it's about the belief also what you
Right,
said,
right,
right? So
right.
if we can uphold this belief and really see that future coming and feel it.
I have to give this credit to my former boss. I used to be a very naughty engineer in polymer. You know me, and if you imagine me 30 years ago, I'm gonna be very wild and naughty. Okay, my Japanese boss keep talking to me. I'm the only person who have a untidy shop. I'm deliver things, I'm do it on time, faster, less downtime, but my shop space is a mess. And I keep saying to my boss, boss, I can't deliver this because I'm very productive, okay? I get things done before your timeline, before your commitment. And that's why my shop is, untidy, maybe unclean. And my boss keeps saying to me, son, if you believe or if you want to do it, you can do it, everything in life. and that's kind of
Wow.
is a big tick item for me. So I believe so as well. If I can make a better world, I have to believe first.
So did your shop look cleaner after or not?
Oh, at that time, I'm changed mindset
Uh-huh.
totally, and then I deliver exactly the standard because that's what is important. So that's why I'm delighted. I meet people like you. If we sharing thought, we sharing passionate, you keep doing what you're doing and keep doing what I'm doing, the rest market will start to understand what we do.
Wow, that is wonderful. And I think I want to close off with these words. Kwang, thank you so much for your time. Where can people follow your products? Where can people purchase your products?
Right. I think as we now present in many retailers, you just go Google, put Lottofood, IG Lottofood, Facebook. We everywhere. You see a lot of my influencers keep selling my products, and try test it. You enjoy it and start open-minded for plant-based. I think people, not just my brand, many brand, start improving our products, and I'm sure that the more you try, the more you enjoy with the products.
Wow. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much, Kwang.
Thanks for your time,
Thanks.
Next.
For all of you listening, watching out there, please like this episode, put your comments down below, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share this episode with your friends, with your colleagues. Help us to inspire, educate, and connect. I'm your host, Nick. This is the Plant-Based Podcast Asia. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Kwang.
Nick. ขอบคุณครับ